Welcome back to Afraid Movies. Today I will be explaining the movie Holidays. Warning, spoilers ahead. The movie consists of 8 horror stories set around the holidays: Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Easter, Mother's Day, Father's Day, Halloween, Christmas, and New Year's Eve. In Valentine's Day's story, a girl, Maxine, is carving the word coach on a desk in a girl's locker room. In the next scene, Maxine is standing on top of a diving board. Coach Rockwell tells her to jump in the swimming pool, but she is too scared to do it. Girl Heidi and her friends start to tease and mock her. Only a few moments later, Heidi appears right behind Maxine's back and pushes her into the pool. Coach Rockwell saves Maxine, who nearly drowned. Maxine opens her eyes and sees her crush, Coach Rockwell. Heidi comments that Maxine wants a kiss. Other girls start laughing. Coach Rockwell leaves. In the girls' locker room, Heidi tells other girls that Coach did not even give her detention because Heidi is organizing a fundraiser for the coach since he suffers from a heart condition. Heidi is bullying Maxine. Heidi tells her that Coach will always pick her and never Maxine. Coach overhears their conversation. He feels sorry for Maxine. To make her feel better, Coach leaves a Valentine card in her locker. Maxine finds the card and is overwhelmed. After school, Maxine is stalking Heidi. She runs to the forest to avoid Maxine, but she follows her there. Heidi is scared and starts to run. She falls to the ground, and Maxine hits her with a brick in the face. Maxine kills Heidi with a box cutter. That night, Coach and his wife are preparing to go to a fundraiser event. Suddenly, he hears a doorbell. It is Maxine. Coach is shocked when he sees Maxine holding Heidi's ripped-out heart as his Valentine's gift. The St. Patrick's Day story begins with a school teacher, Elizabeth, showing her students a documentary about St. Patrick saving Ireland from the snakes. Elizabeth notices a new, sad student, Grain. One day, as part of St. Patrick's project for a school, Grain leaves a dried snake on Elizabeth's desk and a note which says, "Only your deepest wish can make me smile." After partying for St. Patrick's Day, Elizabeth wakes up in her car with snakeskin placed around her. Sometime later, Elizabeth encounters Grain in the store. Grain sincerely hugs Elizabeth's belly, which makes her uncomfortable. Elizabeth is not feeling well. She goes to the hospital and finds out she is pregnant. Elizabeth is happy, but the doctor tells her that the baby will not be a human, but a reptile, most likely a snake. In school, Elizabeth reads Grain's book report in which she drew Elizabeth giving birth to a snake. Elizabeth is scared and asks Grain what is the meaning behind all of this and immediately starts to vomit. All students start to scream except for Grain, who is smiling and cheering. During that year, Elizabeth's belly is growing and her behavior is changing. Her family wants her to abort the creature, but she refuses. In the last weeks of her pregnancy, she begins to wear medieval clothing. After 400 days of pregnancy, Elizabeth is in the bathtub holding a mouse. She hopes to lure the snake out of her. The snake thrashes in her belly, trying to get out and eat the mouse. Elizabeth passes out. After she wakes up and sees Grain dressed in strange clothes, Grain leads her to a man with who Elizabeth had sex on St. Patrick's Day. He is Grain's and Snake's father. He assumes Elizabeth will be terrified of giving birth to a snake. On the contrary, Elizabeth is happy to embrace her new role as a mother and calls the snake her beautiful baby. Following this, a new teacher replaces Elizabeth, a nun who gets the same message from Grain on her desk. In the Easter story, a mother tucks her daughter into bed. She tells the girl that an Easter bunny will visit her while she is sleeping that night. The girl is very scared of the Easter bunny. What if she is awake when the bunny comes? The mother explains there is nothing to be scared of because the bunny holiday mascot is connected with Jesus. That night, the girl gets up to have a glass of water. Suddenly, she sees an Easter bunny/Jesus-like creature. The girl tries to run to her room, but the bunny catches her. The bunny explains to her that now she must take his place because she saw him. He promises her that she will see many magical things. but she will never see her mother again. The bunny feeds her an egg, and the girl transforms into a bunny-like creature. Later that night, the mother is calling for her daughter as the door of the house locks itself. In the Mother's Day story, a girl named Kate can't stop getting pregnant and has to abort again. Kate tells her doctor that she is doing everything possible to avoid the conception, but nothing works. The doctor suggests that she visits a getaway in the middle of the desert. That might help her. Kate listens to her and goes. At first, everything seems normal. She meets other women who cannot get pregnant. After, Kate attends a ritual in the desert. During the ritual, an old woman tells Kate she is the gateway. Kate is feeling uncomfortable. Later, Kate is forced into an orgy with other women and a man. Afterward, she is catatonic and groomed by other women. It turns out that the women in the desert are barren witches. Kate's doctor is also a witch and a part of the coven. Kate manages to escape but goes into labor. The witches surround Kate and try to help her give birth. Suddenly, they start to scream when a full-sized arm comes out of Kate. In the story Father's Day, Carol comes home from teaching. She receives a package from her father who she did not see since she was a child. She opens the package and sees an old cassette deck player and earphones. Carol plays the tape, in which her father tells her he loves her. He gives her instructions to go to the place they used to play together so they can reunite. Carol is in shock because she thought her father is dead. She leaves an angry voicemail to her mother about lying to her. Carol goes to the place. On her way, she realizes the tape was recorded when she was a child and with her father. The tape leads to an abandoned building. She remembers the building because her father left her there. In the tape, her father is sorry for leaving her, but that was the only way they could see each other again. Carol enters the building, which leads her to another dimension. She sees a figure sitting in a chair. The tape is still playing, and her father tells her he is happy she came of her own free will. Carol crosses the circle of salt and starts calling for her father. Suddenly, a mysterious humanoid howls at her. The cassette deck player and earphones fall on the ground. Carol disappears as the end of the tape keeps repeating the word together. In the story Halloween, a man, Ian, hosts an internet sex service. We see him on a phone with a girl who is interested to work with him. His regular employees are Holly, Bree, and Serena. When the girls express they want to celebrate Halloween, Ian gets angry and starts calling them names. The girls warn him it is dangerous to be mean to 3 women because it forms a coven. He ignores them and tries to rape Serena. The girls knock him unconscious. Ian wakes up in his underwear with a laptop in front of him and a vibrator glued up to his anus. The vibrator is connected to the car battery. The girls send their demands through the laptop, saying if he does not fulfill them, he will be abused by the vibrator. The girls demand from Ian to show them his vagina. Ian is very confused. The girls slide a knife under the door with the message, "Make it hollow." Ian does as they demand. Out of curiosity, the girls turn the car battery power to 10 and kill Ian. Someone is at the door. It is Nancy, who Ian called for the job earlier. The girls explain to Nancy that Ian is no longer with the company and welcome her to new management. In the story Christmas, Pete tries to buy the last pair of virtual glasses, UVU, for his son. The man before him buys the glasses first. Pete wants to buy the glasses from him for double the amount. The man refuses. Suddenly, the man has a heart attack and can't reach for his pills. Instead of helping the man, Pete steals the glasses and runs home. At home, Pete's wife, Sarah, complains about how her boss didn't give her a Christmas bonus as promised. On Christmas Day, Pete's son is thrilled with his new glasses that allow you to recreate all your thoughts and ideas. Pete tried the glasses on and sees a stripper. That night, Pete tries the glasses again and he receives a blowjob from a prostitute. Out of nowhere, the visuals shift to a night when Pete stole the glasses. The whole night is seen from the dying man's perspective. Sarah admits to Pete she saw the footage. Pete said he did it because he is always Mr. Nice Guy. Surprisingly, this turns Sarah on and they have sex. After Pete tries the glasses once again, and to his surprise, he sees Sarah killing her boss for not giving her the Christmas bonus. Overwhelmed, Pete reads the tagline on the glasses, UVU shows you you. In the story, New Year's Eve, a man named Reggie kills his date. Later, he decides to pick up another girl. On New Year's Eve, he meets with the girl, Jean. The date isn't going well because Reggie is weird. Jane feels sorry for him, so she invites him to her apartment. When they arrive, Reggie goes to the bathroom to refresh himself, although he is planning to use chloroform on Jane. He opens up Jane's cabinets and sees that Jane keeps organs and severed limbs in jars. All of a sudden, Jane storms into the bathroom with a fire axe and tries to kill Reggie. He falls into the bathtub and discovers a dead body in there. He remembers he has a gun in his jacket. He runs to the jacket and takes the gun, but he forgot to load it with bullets. Jane splits his head in half and kills him. At that moment, it is midnight and Jane is celebrating the new year while dancing around with her fire axe.